and Colonel J. Vargas. Dean and Jim will now unveil the Medal of Honor Vietnam War Forever stamps. Dean will now present Colonel Mojieski, Colonel Vargas, and Tom Seidler with framed commemorative stamp artwork that features the Medal of Honor stamps. Fans, please join us as we salute these and all veterans for their incredible service. At this time, we'd like to ask all fans to please rise and remove your caps as our veterans in the crowd salute the flag. Presenting our nation's colors today, the Chula Vista Veteran of Foreign Wars, Post 2111 Color Guard. Next, please welcome retired Navy veteran Commander Abe Thompson. Please sing along as Abe presents the Star Spangled Banner.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are San Diego.
I'd like to know when the last time the Redbirds gave up 9 runs in a game and then the next game gave up 5 runs. The Padres aren't even done yet.
There's a drive to right. If it's fair, it's gone. Touch them all. Up the middle, a base hit. How about that? 1 run scores. Here comes another run to the plate. Padres lead it. And welcome on this Sunday to Petco Park. It's Military Sunday presented by USAA. The Cardinals and the Padres, final game of the homestand as the Padres go for a rare sweep all 6 games. The U.S. Marine recruits are here to salute the Padres, and we honor them as well. The Vietnam veterans are those that are saluted on this day, and it's already been a very moving ceremony, and we'll be sharing that with you throughout the course of today's game. Padres need a win. They'll get to 500. They haven't been at 500 in 10 weeks.
Big afternoon for this Friar baseball team, and when you talk about the pitching, the Fab Five come to mind. The last time around through the rotation, these guys have been just outstanding. A .91, Mr. Enberg, ERA the last 5 games. 29 and 2/3 innings pitched. Home runs, they're keeping the ball, and only 9 walks. And you know what? Of those 9 walks, only 1 has scored. So keep it going. It's infectious. Good pitching beats good hitting any day. The Cardinals are struggling right now. See if they can keep it going.
Shields, no earned runs. Ross, 1 earned run. Cash, no. And Kennedy, no earned runs. And Colin Ray, who started all this, gets the beginning start again today, and he allowed just 2 earned runs. So that's a total of 3 through that 5-game series.
And what a position Colin Ray is in right now to be in with these 5 starters, learning at the big league level. If he can get the breaking stuff over for a strike, expand late for a strikeout, I think the Padres are looking pretty good to sweep these Redbirds, and he's been the beneficiary of a lot of runs. Hopefully that carries over this afternoon.
You remember 1974, don't you?
I do.
Well, that's the only time that a Padre pitcher won his first 3 major league games. Dave Freisleben, and Ray is trying to accomplish that today as USAA proud to present. The Padres take the field. 9 Vietnam veterans are out there to greet each Padre, and the Padres to thank them for their service. Well, last night, the Padres not only with the 8 runs, but when the game was 1-0, the Cardinals had runners at first and third and no one out, and then in came the bullpen. The 3 strikeout-a-tears. Let's go to Chris Budden.
Well, you talk about how great this starting rotation is, but Ian Kennedy, thankful for that bullpen yesterday, able to strike out the side in that jam there in the 7th. Here's more from Sean Kelly and Ian Kennedy about how big that moment was.
It was big. That was kind of obviously a turning point in the game and for the series now, looking back. But yeah, it was good. I mean, we all had basically a guy to get out, and fortunately, we all three did it. And then we came in. You saw how we responded after that. So it was exciting. There was a lot of energy in the dugout for sure.
Like first one, you're like, okay, punch out. Hopefully, like make a mess up a bunt or something, and then maybe get a double play and then another punch out, and like now you get greedy for another one. It was pretty awesome to watch. I know our whole dugout was really pumped up.
And, Dick, that was such a neat moment because you get out of that jam and you saw how the rest of the dugout responded in coming back in that bottom of the 7th and putting up a crooked number. So certainly changed the momentum of last night's game.
Now, there were so many features of last night's win, and, of course, for the 5-game homestand, as the Padres now have equaled their longest winning streak of the entire season, and they'll have to beat a mighty tough one today to make it 6 in a row. It's warm, 78 degrees. As we await the first pitch, Colin Ray against the 14-game winner Michael Wacha. Here's the Cardinals batting order brought to you by Hyundai. Carpenter again leading off, and Pham, who's had a very good success against Padre pitching. Johnny Peralta in a 6-game hitting streak. Jason Hayward at cleanup. Molina, the all-star catcher. Then Piscani, the rookie left fielder. Mark Reynolds moves back to first base. Greg Garcia just called up from the minor leagues from Memphis. And a local lad, in fact, is at second base and then walk up. Set to go here at beautiful Petco Park in downtown San Diego. And the 25-year-old Ray has a strike to open things. Todd Tichenor behind the plate with Timmons, Welke, and Siegel on the bases. Carpenter leads the Cardinals in home runs and RBIs, even though he's a leadoff man primarily. Now and then Mike Matheny, the manager, will drop him down second or third. With 2 strikes on him, Solarte, the third baseman, skips over to the right side of the infield. Clint Barmas, the lone figure on the left side. Strike 3 called. Ray hits the inside corner. The Padres defense today brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Melvin Upton gets the start in center field with brother Justin in left and Kemp in right. Solarte at third, Barmas the shortstop. Spangenberg at second. Alonso will guard the first base bag with Austin Hedges, the rookie, behind the plate. Tommy Pham in the games at St. Louis and then here against the Padres is 8 for 16. Had 3 hits last night.
And the young right-hander Colin Ray making his third start. Fastball, curveball, cut fastball, and changeup. He's got great mound presence and poise on that mound, and he's seen the scouting report. He's gotten 2 games to watch these Cardinals. Hope he can put a hurting on these Cardinals today and go for the sweep. I'm excited for the youngster.
2 balls and a strike. And 3-1. Ray has shown in his 2 major league starts composure and control. And Pham fouls it away. Pham, 8 hits against the Padres. All of his power totals have come against San Diego. He's hit 1 home run. That was in St. Louis against the Padres. He's knocked in 4 runs, all 4 against the Padres. And ball 4. Early walk. That'll bring up Johnny Peralta, the shortstop.
We talked about in our pregame show the few walks that these starters have issued. Hopefully he is left stranded.
Let's take a look, Mark, at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Keep the hits coming. First game of the series, 13 hits, 9 runs. Last night, 12 hits, 8 runs. Keep them coming, boys, and then continue the improvement for Colin Ray. So he's gotten a little better each time out. 5 innings, 5 2/3, 3 runs, 2 runs. 75 pitches, 93 pitches. So how about 7 innings, 100 pitch effort today for the youngster?
Well, he's in the center circle on this warm Sunday, and here's the pitch to Peralta. No, they're going to. Oh, throws it away. So a walk, and now an errant throw, and Pham's going to go all the way to third base. Here comes the throw across. Got a chance. Nope. 2-base throwing error. That's not the way that the Padres and Colin Ray wanted to start the game. That's as good as a triple, a walk and a 2-base error.
Throw is on the outfield side to first base, and Yonder Alonso, he gets picked. It's almost like a pick in basketball. Can't get to the throw. He's got some work to do.
Tommy Pham's at it again, and he's lucky he didn't injure himself. The spikes catching on that left shoe as he made his slide.
That's why you have to keep the tag on the runner at all times until time is called.
So Peralta with a chance to give the Cardinals an early run. Broken bat, line drive, knocked down, but it's a fair ball. Oh my. That's a double play. Instead, an error, and the Cardinals are leading 1-0. Solarte may have been guilty of catching the ball with his eye on the runner, and he didn't quite clutch the ball, and so the Cardinals are gifted an early run.
Broken bat liner. I'd say looks like he was too quick too quick to catch that baseball. He had third base in mind before he caught the ball, it looks like. Oh, that had the setup for a perfect double play.
So a walk and a pair of errors, and the Cardinals have the 1-0 lead. And here's their cleanup man, Jason Hayward. That would have been a terrific way to bail out of the problem that Colin Ray had, because the line drive, it wasn't hit as hard as maybe Solarte had judged on a broken bat, but he knew that the runner had strayed Pham enough that if he caught it, he could get to third in time for the double play.
You know, you have it just served to you on a platter, and your body gets just a little bit too quick to react, and next thing you know, it's a run and another base runner. Hey, it happens.
It happened to the Cardinals in game 1 of the series. 3 errors in 1 inning. And the Padres took advantage with 5 runs. Two and 1 to Hayward. Leading average for the Cardinals, 286. That's in there. Manager Murphy, a mix and match uniform today.
Yeah, we need to get him a
camouflage
pullover.
Yeah, windbreaker. Center field, not hit very hard, and it falls for a base hit. Boy, this is the makings of a very ugly start for the Padres, as the Cardinals yet to hit the ball hard, and they've got a run home and runners at first and second. A bloop single for Hayward.
You know, when I just saw that play happen, one thing came to mind. I really thought that Melvin maybe had a chance to sprint to that ball coming in, because the runner's in no man's land. And then if it's a short hop, it's a for sure short throw to second base for the force out. That's what I saw in that play. Okay, now here, the runner's got a hold, right? He doesn't know whether Melvin Upton Jr. is going to catch that on the fly. Come up, throw to second base.
Just casually tossed it into the shortstop. Yadier Molina, and the Cardinals have a chance to have a big inning here without doing much from their own side. It's one hit, and that's a bloop single. We just saw that. In the dirt, blocked by Austin Hedges.
One thing to keep in mind, Colin Ray, remember his major league debut here? He put on a pickoff at second base with a runner on second base. Clint Barnes playing behind the runner. Not a bad idea to try to do that, maybe.
Double play potential here. 1-1. Molina, one of the toughest to strike out in the National League. 8th, if you wanted the exact number. Strikes out only once every 9 plate appearances. Well placed, 1-2.
Well, we've seen the curveball, now the slider from Colin Ray. Get out of this little jam with 1 run.
Into left field, a base hit. And here comes the second run. Johnny Peralta makes it 2-0. Molina's 48th run batted in of the year. Hayward stops at second, still only 1 out to Stephen Piscotty.
It looked like a hanging changeup. And Molina stays back on it nicely. Watch how far out in front, indicating that it's an off-speed pitch, and finds the hole on the left side. See the space in between Barmes and Solarte. Finding the hole, resulting in a run.
There's a situation you almost like to see young Hedges go out and talk to young Ray. I mean, it's an awkward start this game. You don't want him to try to overthrow something, and then one swing and it's 5-0. Hayward at second, Molina at first now with 1 away. Piscotty, 101 at bat since they called him up from the minors, hitting .307. Another base hit. That scores Hayward easily, and Molino can barely run as around third. They're going to try to score him, and the throw to the plate too late, 4-0. Well, the Cardinal fans, who have been very quiet the first two games of the series as the Padres dominated them 9-3 and 8-0, and they're getting a chance to use their voices here in the first inning.
You know, we've talked about the Padre hitters finding holes, going with the pitch. That ball off the right-handed bat of Piscotty, that ball is slicing away from Corey Spangenberg. Corey gives it the old college try, can't come up with it. Cardinals adding on early.
So Piscotty with a 2-run triple. And now the infield has to come in. 4 runs already. Mark Reynolds the batter. Yeah, the Padres gave the Cardinals not just an extra out. That should have been a double play. They gave them 2 outs. It's a 5-out inning. Solardi makes the catch of that line drive. The Cardinals are in the dugout or out on the field, and the Padres are hitting in a scoreless game.
See where Reynolds gets this one.
That's a sensitive spot inside of the ankle.
See, this is where I think there should be a time limit. If I'm commissioner, you put the guy on the clock. Make a decision. You're in the game or you're out of the game. Got to go.
They replayed that foul tip on the ankle, and you heard the reaction of the crowd in the background. And as per usual, the player pain subsides and he stays in the game. Piscotty at third with the 2-run triple. 4 runs home here in the first inning for St. Louis, who have maybe their top pitcher on the mound today. Waka, 14-4 and a 2.85 ERA. Before he throws the first pitch, he's got a handsome lead. Just foul. Piscotty duck into fair territory. That almost hit him. Well, the Cardinals frustrated by the first 2 games of the series, and their lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates reduced to 3.5. So they came out charging, and Padres giving them help. Got a little piece of it, 0-2. Now a 25 pitch inning already for Ray, and he has just 1 out.
And the pitch count continues to rise. 26 now for Colin Ray.
It's great to see the U.S. Marine recruits back with us on this Sunday, occupying their normal spot in the upper deck in right field.
Love it. Wish them luck.
A chance to get away from the base and enjoy some baseball and maybe a hot dog and a soda. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, the 2 outs in the inning, both strikeouts. 8th man to bat is Greg Garcia.
Well, I'm sure Colin Ray, watching these Cardinals the first 2 games, what was the one common thread with Mark Reynolds? He will chase changeups, he'll chase fastballs off the plate. He threw a fastball there and got the strikeout.
Greg Garcia just called up from the minor leagues. He's a local lad. Went to Valhalla High School in El Cajon. And his granddaddy is Dave Garcia, former manager.
I think that's a pretty good pitch. Right at the belt buckle of Garcia. You saw the drought for the St. Louis Cardinals as far as runs are concerned. Dropping a 4 spot here in the top of the first.
Garcia up earlier in the season.
Pretty good numbers there in the 18 games.
At the University of Hawaii, he was the shortstop, and Kelton Wong was the second baseman. So that combination still works in the major leagues with the Cardinals, although Wong is not in the starting lineup today. Garcia replacing him, in fact. 2-2. The pitcher Waka on deck. Good hitter. Sharply hit, but Alonso there to snare it, and the inning comes to an end. But a couple of errors and a walk and 3 hits, and the Cardinals lead 4-0. Padres come up in the bottom of the first. Lineup brought to you by Toyota. Solarte and Spangenberg, 2 left-handed bats to open things. Then Kemp, Upton. Yonder Alonso bats 5th. Melvin Upton in the number 6 spot. Austin Hedges, Clint Barmas get starts on this Sunday, and Colin Ray.
Well, the scouting report for right-hander Michael Wacha, making his 24th start. 6'6", 210. Kid gets on top of the ball and gets a good downward plane. He is also a strike thrower, fastball, changeup, curveball, cutter. Big game pitcher postseason, and that carries over to when a kid has a postseason like that, it really does wonders for his career.
And this year he has career highs and wins and innings and strikeouts, and true to form, when he pitches, the Cardinals score runs. In fact, coming into today, discounting the 4 runs he already has, they have supported him with nearly 6 runs every time he pitches. Best in the entire National League. And that continues on this Sunday. Sometimes there are the pitchers that just get all the love from the offense. 1-1 to Solarte. Wacha, big Texan, 6'6" and 210 pounds. He was an academic All-State in basketball. He comes at you.
He works quickly, and the Padre fans want a sweep of the St. Louis Cardinals. Nice sign. Well done.
Popped up on the infield, center of the diamond. And Molina drops it in foul territory. You could see at the last moment he looked right up into the sun. And an error, and a rare error for the all-star catcher.
Even happens to the Gold Glovers. Nothing is guaranteed. Routine, really? Well, not today.
Yeah, you can see he was ducking there at the last minute. I don't know if that bat was part of the problem. He might have looked down to see it at his feet. Doesn't matter as ball is flied out to shallow center and Pham makes the catch. Well, Michael Wacha this year has not allowed a run in the first inning in each of his last 10 starts. 78.6 first pitch strike percentage the last 14 days. Leadoff hitters have struck out more than a third of the time.
And that's a big key for any pitcher. Getting that first out of any inning really sets the tone.
Spangenberg walks up and takes a ball high. His average up to 260.
Wacha will range from 92 to 97 on the fastball, probably averaging around 93, 94. He'll go up the ladder by design, like that last pitch.
He was pitching for Texas A&M just 3 years ago and made the very quick jump to the major leagues and a playoff star last year. Actually 2 years ago, second year in pro ball. And Spangenberg caught looking, 2 away. Cardinals defense brought to you by Renovation Realty. Piscotty and Pham, 2 rookies, along with Hayward in right field. Carpenter, Peralta on the left side. Garcia and Reynolds will guard the right side of the Cardinal infield with Molina behind the plate. Here's Matt Kemp, 14-game hitting streak in which he's hit .375 and 4 home runs. 15 RBIs in those 14 games. And those 74 runs batted in, tied for 7th in the National League with Bryce Harper and Todd Frazier. Foul tip.
It's really apparent the last 2 pitches. You can really see Wacha high 3/4, even over the top release point. You're getting that downward plane.
And breaking ball bends just off the plate. 2-1. This is the start of a 3-stop road trip for the Cardinals. From here they'll go to Arizona for 4 and then up to the Bay Area to play the Giants 3. Padres will have the off day to travel tomorrow and will play 3 in Washington, 3 in Philadelphia on the next road trip. That's slicing toward the crowd and right. Kemp with Upton. Should Kemp keep something going here? Ground ball deep into the hole. Peralta braces and throws him out. On to the second. 4-0 Redbirds.
And Derek Norris yesterday took a pitch off his left wrist. The team right now is calling it a bone contusion. There was luckily no broken bones. X-rays were negative. It's just swollen and sore today. They were already planning on him being out of the lineup today to give him a day off. He is available if necessary. They like to keep him off though and let that left wrist heal up. They're hoping he's going to be back by Tuesday. So good news that the X-rays though came out negative.
Yeah, that is good news. Thank you, Chris. Yeah. Tough injury when he was crossed up, or he and the pitcher certainly weren't on the same page, because Quackenbush's fastball, and it looked like he wanted a curveball. Waka has 6 hits this year, and he's knocked in 4 runs. That's a double.
You know, there's nothing worse than getting crossed up. And imagine you're catching a 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
He goes around. 3 strikeouts now for Ray.
Would anticipate a curveball. Oh, Waka, the pitcher, gets a breaking ball from Colin Ray. Expands the strike zone. Big first out. Shut him down right here, and even if the Padres get 1 next half inning, hold the Cardinals here in the second.
Carpenter with the shift on. Struck out, took a 3rd strike to open the ball game.
It's been a common theme for these Padre pitchers facing Matt Carpenter. Game 1 struck him out in the first inning. Game 2 struck him out in the first inning. This afternoon, Colin Ray struck him out.
He's in a bit of a slump. 0 for the last 16. Make it 17. With the out that he made to open this game. It's highly unexpected from this consistent hitter. Again with 2 strikes, the shift on the infield with Solarte and Barmas exchanging places.
The changeup.
It's Solarte near his second base on the right side, and Barmas normal shortstop position. As they go. That's when you're not feeling your best offensively. 0 for 18. You strike out on a pitch like that.
Oh, some more chirping going on from Mike Matheny.
Around.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, how dare you tell us one of our Cardinals went around on this? If he hits it, it's a double.
How come it's never a single? It's always a double.
You know, I should incorporate that.
Yeah,
if it's a pitch in, get jammed a little bit.
Because that was such a half swing.
That's a good call.
I think maybe only a single. Now, if he had his body also twisting into it, and the body had to stop too, now that could be a sarcastic triple.
Yeah.
Carpenter not a happy man. That's his own frustration, as you might imagine. 0 for 18. Whoa! Right at Ray. And he gets the out, but is he okay? Well, we'll find out as he jogs to the dugout. That's a painful 1-3 put up. San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by your San Diego Lexus dealer. By Petco, what we feed them matters. By Sony Action Cam, prove yourself. And by USAA, official military appreciation partner of the San Diego Padres. You saw some of the ceremonies, and the 103-year-old pitch made by the oldest Pearl Harbor survivor. First pitch swinging and up and is just out by a half step. Raymond Chavez was the man throwing out that first pitch. We'll show you that later. Here's the out. One away to Yonder Alonso. So here's a look at Raymond Chavez, 103 years young, the oldest Pearl Harbor survivor. He got it out there, didn't he? He practiced a couple of practice throws. And
that was great.
That was fabulous. Very moving moment. And Jack Paris was also out. You saw a glimpse of Jack Paris, who was aboard the USS Colorado in Tokyo Bay when Japan surrendered officially in 1945. And he just happens to be the father of Jack Paris, Jay Paris. You've enjoyed his sports writing here in San Diego County for a long time. There's a base hit to left field. Just a little punch shot to the opposite field. Alonso has the first Padre hit.
Well, Michael Wacha throws the changeup, and a lot of swings and misses when it's down in the zone. Yonder Alonso stays back just long enough, and that's all it takes. Off the end of the bat, a lot of wiggle, almost one-handed, and there goes the no-hitter.
Melvin Upton, 5 home runs. Nice to tag one here and get the Padres right back in the game. Wacha working from the stretch for the first time. Boy, that sun is mean. Look at first baseman Reynolds having trouble, but he's using his glove to shade. 2 away. Reynolds looks at Molina saying, now I understand why you missed that one.
Well, you can see the shadows of the players. I mean, it's straight down. You know, if you picture like a sundial, right? The lower the sun gets to the horizon, the longer the shadow. But you look at the shadows of the players, I mean, it's like right on top of them. Mm-hmm. It's not a long shadow. So El Sol is straight up.
Austin Hedges gets the start today. He's had 85 at bats, a couple of home runs. 16 base hits, so that figures out at a young 188. Two and 0. When the Padres faced Wacha in St. Louis, they won the game 2-1. He did not figure in the decision. He gave up a home run to Jerko for the only run while he was in. And then Jerko with an RBI single late in the game against the bullpen to give the Padres the 2-1 win. Breaking ball gets away, and that'll move Alonso to second base. Base hit now, get one of those runs back.
Well, that curveball looked like a pretty good pitch from Wacha, and now the count swings in favor at 2-1. Even though he doesn't catch this, I mean, that's a pretty good pitch.
Well, this is rare. Molina in the first 2 innings with an error and a pass ball. 3-1 the count. And ball 4. First walk from Walker.
Well, he doesn't walk many going into this game. 145 plus innings, 36 walks. Very few hits also. 126 hits in 145 innings for Walker. So tough to get to. Got to string together some hits.
Clint Barmes hitting .250. Barmes figured in that big 7-run 7th inning last night as a pinch hitter, doubled and scored. Yeah, suddenly Waka having trouble finding the strike zone. He's only thrown 1 strike the last 7 pitches.
Yeah, it only takes one in the zone, a hanging breaking ball. Clint Barmes even lay into one to make a difference early on here. At least get on the board with a run or 2.
Alonso at second, Hedges at first. Right field, here comes Hayward in a hurry, can't get there. Alonso around third, he'll score. It's 4-1. So Barmes drops a soft single into right field for the RBI. Hedges moves to second, and here's pitcher Colin Ray.
Well, Yonder Alonso dumped one into left field off the end of the bat. Clint Barmes gets jammed here, and he will gladly take that RBI. And Derek Norris doing his best cheerleading.
And Ray with a great stop by Reynolds, and that saved another run. Mark Reynolds ranging way off first base to take a hit and a run away from Colin Ray and the Padres. Padres settled for a run on 2 hits, leave 2, and it's 4-1. Four to 1 St. Louis. The Redbirds bring up the heavy end of the order in the third. Peralta, Hayward, and Molina. Here's that last play as Ray trying to shoot one into right field, and Reynolds a long way from first base to make the stab, and Walker covered for the out.
You see Walker, as soon as that ball was hit, he was on his way over to first base. And since Matt Adams has gotten hurt, not really having a first baseman, but not going to win a Gold Glove over there, but dive and try to help out his pitchers. That was a nice play.
In the first 2 games of the series, the Cardinals unable to collect an earned run off starting pitching, and the flavor around the St. Louis Cardinal media section is, hey, the offense isn't here, it's in St. Louis. One hop to Solarte. And Peralta's out. If you think about it, Adams played in only 43 games. There's 120. This is the 123rd game of the season for St. Louis. They get Adams for 43. Holiday's only played 63 games. Jay 57 and Grichuk 85. That's a pretty good piece of their offense.
Yeah, and they've done it all with pitching. The pitching has picked up the slack. Very few runs scored against this Cardinal team with the lack of offense. The rotation and bullpen better pick it up.
Well, they have the best ERA in the National League, even though they lost Adam Wainwright for the season with an Achilles. Hayward dumped a single into left field in the first inning. One of the 4 runs that scored. He falls behind Ray 3-0 to Hayward.
Colin Ray to me seems like one of those kids that can erase a bad inning.
Swinging 3-0.
Okay, 4 in the first. You put up a bagel in the second. You take it from there. Don't worry about it. It's out of your control. Make good pitches, quick innings.
San Diego blue sky covering Petco Park on this Sunday. Goes off speed with a breaking ball. And he walks Hayward. That's the second base on balls. First one scored. Tommy Pham in the first inning. Molina grounded a single through the left side to knock in a run his first time, and then scored on Piscotty's triple.
Oh, got to be careful. That first pitch breaking ball. Got to work down here. Try to induce a grounder. Done pretty well against Yadi Molina this series.
Off speed the first 2 deliveries. Runner goes. Foul ball. They use Molina a lot on the hit and run. Trust his bat. He doesn't strike out, as we mentioned earlier. One of the toughest in the league to strike out. So he's going to make contact.
Trying to inside out that last pitch. Go that way.
Good candidate for a double play. Does not run well. Runner goes again, and Hedges can't get a grip on the ball, and Hayward has his 19th stolen base.
Well, it was a breaking ball. Looked like a slider down and away, and on the transfer, picked it, and then just couldn't find the handle.
So walk and a steal, 1 out. You think about the brothers that have enjoyed great success in the major leagues. You know, the DiMaggios and Vince, Dominic, and of course Joe DiMaggio, outfielders. You know, that the Alous, also basically outfielders. But there's never been 3 brothers catchers that all won World Series rings.
Yeah, it is fascinating, isn't it? Jose, Benji, and Yachty. I can imagine the discussion around the Thanksgiving dinner table or around the holidays with those three guys in the same room.
Yeah, Yadi's brothers both won a ring with the Angels in 2002. Now Molina. 3-2.
Oh, hanging tough on that changeup. 2 changeups this at bat that Molina has fouled off down the third base line. 9th pitch coming.
And another foul. Well, the Cardinals still with the best record in baseball. Should they make the playoffs with Mike Matheny, that'll be 12 times in the last 16 years St. Louis in overtime.
Quite a track record. And we've talked about it. The free agents that they get, the homegrown Cardinals that come up and produce.
Softly hit up the middle. Barmes is there to glove it. 2 away, and Hayward moves to third. And here's Piscotty. His low line drive just eluded Spangenberg, but found the gap in right center all the way to the wall for a 2-run triple his first time up. That was his first hit in the series. He was 0 for 8 in the first 2 games. An expression used by former manager Bud Black. A player looks hitterish. He just looks like he's going to be a good hitter, successful up here. Oof. 2-0. Piscotty just 24. Migrated from Tidewater, Virginia, all the way across the country to attend Stanford. Barmes has to hurry. Gets him by a half stride. He doesn't make that play. The Cardinals have another run. Middle of the third at Petco. It'll be Solarte, Spangenberg, Kemp, and maybe Upton.
Third, the Padres trailing 4-1, and yesterday Yonder Alonso greeted some fans at a Cox retail store. Got to meet some future big leaguers and sign some autographs. Always fun for the little ones to get to maybe see what they can become one day.
Yeah, that makes it a personal attachment Fans will remember. They'll someday be teenagers coming out here, and then before long they're bringing their own kids out to root for the Padres. Solarte from the top of the order in the third. Padres trailing 4-1. Stands up there until he takes a strike. He had a second chance his first at bat when Molina couldn't catch his foul pop. Lifts that one behind third. A long run for Peralta. Tough play. It falls for a hit. Solarte puts on the brakes. And the Padres have a bloop single to open the third.
Well, it's a good sign. Leadoff hitter, top of the order, to get on this way, even though it wasn't hit on the sweet spot. Get on some way, shape, or form just out of the reach of Peralta.
What do they say in golf? When it hits the green, he's dancing, huh?
That's right.
Solarte dancing. He put that little wedge right inside the foul line. See if the Padres can take advantage. Walker's given up 3 hits, and they've all been bloop singles. About time somebody barreled it up and hit it hard somewhere.
Walker does do a fine job of keeping the ball in the yard. 11 home runs, and this being his 24th start. Doesn't mean he won't hang one every once in a while. And Dick, like we've seen so many times in this series, the Padres have really capitalized on bad pitches by the Cardinals. The mistakes they've hit pretty hard.
You pointed it out in this 5-game hitting streak that they're not striking out. They're making contact. They're hitting the pitches they should. Oh, up and in. 1-1.
Where does he want the fastball? He wants to bury it in, but it just gets away a little bit. Up. And Corey doing the right thing, turning into. Show that pitcher your name and number. That's how you get out of the way of a ball pitched in.
2-1. The other plus in the Padres' performance here at home in the 5-game winning streak, hitting with runners in scoring position. They're hitting .321, 17 for 53. So money hits. There's the lead runner, but they're not going to get 2 with Spangenberg's speed. So the Padres trade Spangenberg for Solarte at first base. 1 out. And Spangenberg can steal you a bag. Matt Kemp grounded to short his first time. Kemp since the All-Star break, again proving what a second-half hitter he is. Batting .320 with 7 homers and 27 runs batted in. Well, time now for our Arco top tier profile. And speaking of the hitting streak, 14 straight. Longest hit streak since 2006 for Padres, 17. Adrian Gonzalez twice in 2006 had a tear of 17 games in a row with a hit.
Well, when we were given the lineups in the pregame show, our very own Mark Sweeney said that Matt Kemp, he gets on a roll, he can carry a team. Second half of the season, stay tuned. ...
A ball and a strike to the Padres right fielder. Nice Sunday turnout on this military day.
Beautiful.
And the Padres will, in the attendance total, clicking those turnstiles, will go over the 1.9 million mark today. And did they ever have a good homestand after we go on this 1-week road trip to Washington and Philadelphia? Foul back. It's a rare 11-game homestand because they're going to make up that rainout with Colorado.
Right. Yeah.
They'll play 3 with Texas, 4 with the Dodgers, and 4 with Colorado. I hope you're making your advance ticket plans. One out. Spangenberg with a good lead.
Another mistake. Hey, you know what? You're not going to crush every one, but you know that pitch right there, last couple of pitches, a good opportunity for Matt to get on top of one, do some damage. But Michael Wacha, he's got good stuff. Tough to get on top of that fastball that's above the belt buckle.
Shallow in right center. This time it's Garcia angling, and he's called off by Hayward in foul territory. 2 outs to Justin Upton. Upton grounded to shortstop his first time. Wacha has a very tight move from the stretch. Pretty tough to take off on him. Very short knee lift.
Quick tempo too. You're right, Dick. Good call.
A ball and a strike to Justin Upton, sitting on 20 home runs on the year. None in the last 5-game winning streak.
2-run shot would be nice here.
Sweet wood. Tastes good.
It just kind of gave to you, didn't it? That was nice.
No, just hungry, I guess.
See if he goes fastball away here.
Breaking ball.
Good curveball. Good curveball from Wacha.
Fool, but had enough held back to foul it off.
Yeah, you see what Wacha's doing there. He has the ability to locate that curveball down and away. The one prior to that was a little bit better of a pitch. And now when he's in the hole, he just locates that curveball a little bit more off the plate. Let's peek into Yadier Molina. Slider. It is
2-2.
Might have been a cutter.
50 pitches now for Wacha.
Molina looking towards the bench to Mike Matheny. Get some signs. Could be a decoy. Could be a hot sign. Throw over. Ooh, that was closer than it looked. Oh, he dropped the ball.
The throw is what made that close. It's right on the bag.
Yeah.
Another soft fly ball. That's going to be a base hit. Running all the way is Spangenberg, and he'll hold at third. That's 4 hits for the Padres. All of them of the same variety, right out of the book of Texas League.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Who says you have to hit the sweet spot? Wacha with the fastball after a few breaking balls, and what a great effort by Greg Garcia. And let's take a look. Boy, looks like a pole vault almost. It bent so much. My goodness, and what a great effort by Garcia.
Yeah, we saw Kelton Wong make a catch like that in the series in St. Louis. So first and third, and Yonder Alonso represents the tying run here in the bottom of the third inning. Yonder dropped the soft single into left field his first time. And came around to score the Padre run on a 2-out blue pit by Barmas.
A handful of pitches this half inning from Walker have been elevated up in the strike zone.
Fair ball. And Alonso's out. There's Molina alertly pouncing on that ball. It appeared to be right on home plate when he made contact. And that's a shame. First and third and 2 outs, and you called out on a play where you don't even leave the batter's box. Breaking ball, he smothers it.
Hits out in front of home plate. That's a fair ball. He got it right on home plate. You bet.
2-U, catcher unassisted to end the inning.
Grounded out to the catcher.
Oh my!
But you know, as a catcher, you have to be on your toes for that particular play. Heads up.
Padres leave 2. It's still 4-1 St. Louis. Play underway, and Mark Reynolds takes the first pitch out of the strike zone. Reynolds, Garcia, and the pitcher Waka here in the top of the 4th inning. Redbirds came out flying, and 4 runs in the first inning, helped out by the Padres' 2 errors. San Diego got 1 back in the second. He almost walked into that pitch.
Yeah, he dives a lot, doesn't he? I'd like to welcome Mark Sweeney joining us this half inning for the next 3. Welcome, Mark Sweeney.
Yeah, welcome, Mark Sweeney.
Thank you for having me.
Always welcome.
Line to left center. That's up the alley. Upton plays it in. Reynolds with a leadoff double.
That's a fastball that's up, and when you only throw a fastball 91 to a hitter like Mark Reynolds, he got some serious top hand on that. You talked about tomahawking that ball. Mark Reynolds, it's either swing or miss. Can hit the big fly, and he split the gap nicely on that.
Yeah, he's got that power that obviously the swing and miss is in his bat. Right there, like you said, Mark, elevated pitch, a lot easier for the hitter to get that top hand on top.
You're going to go on the road trip with us, huh?
I'm looking forward to it. You get some time off. And
Mark Grant's going to holiday in Paris.
Yeah, you can call Alpine Paris, the Paris of East County.
Is that Arizona?
It's right near the border.
It is. Love Alpine.
We still have not taken that nice invitation from your fire department to come out there and have lunch with them. Gotta do that. Line to center, charging Melvin. Wow, that was a clothesline off the bat of Garcia. Brings up Walker.
That's an Adam ball. Right at him.
I love it.
You know, one of the things, guys, we talk about Colin Ray and his repertoire, and I think it's evident just the last 2 balls that have been struck. You know, at the big league level, if you're going to throw 91, even 92, he's going to have to find out really quickly to locate, and that's a nice bounce back there. Even though it's the pitcher Walker, you know, it might be a different story in Double and Triple A, but not here at the big league level.
Well, we see Despaigne warming up right now, but for Colin Ray to refine his game, I think it has a lot to do with the secondary stuff. Yes, it's location with the fastball, but the consistency of the secondary stuff, because we talk all the time, Mark, you have to eliminate, if you're a hitter, try to eliminate one of those pitches, and then you will benefit from that. And I think they can do that against Colin Ray at times.
Walker swings the bat well. Two and two the count. I mentioned he has 6 hits this year, a double among them. Nice play made. Padre fan. Pretty good pitch there. Misses. 91. Fastball. Full count. So 75 pitches already for Colin Ray. So Despaigne getting loose. And there's a base hit. Waka up with it in a hurry is Kemp. So holding at third is Reynolds. First and third again for the Cardinals. One out, and top of the order, Matt Carpenter.
You have to help yourself at the big league level, especially in the National League. And Michael Wacha, a nice approach on a 3-2 pitch going the other way. You don't see that very often from the pitchers. No offense, Mark.
No. Right on. Hey, I'm right there with you. That fastball up and away is the easiest pitch to hit. Even if you're a pitcher and you don't have tremendous hitting skills. The barrel of the bat doesn't have to travel as far as if it's like middle in. You just play a little game of pepper the opposite way.
Oh, he needs a double play ball right here.
He's a tough man to double up, Carpenter. He struck out twice today. He's in a tangled slump. Carpenter 0 for the last 18. Dodgers and Houston, game break coming up. Houston winning the first 2 of that series. Dodgers have lost 4 in a row, and their lead has been reduced to a game and a half ahead of San Francisco.
Well, they're going through some struggles. Zach Greinke losing.
Not scoring runs.
Upton into foul territory, and the wave said goodbye.
Well, they're going through a tough stretch, and we said Zach Greinke losing. Clayton Kershaw on the mound today.
They had the lead. We'll see what happened in our game break. A ball and a strike to Carpenter, trying to add to his club leading RBI total. Got in on his fist.
You know, Dick, you talk about the struggles of Matt Carpenter, and that's right the reason right there. When you get a pitch that you can handle, a lot of times when you'll see hitters struggle, they foul their pitch off and they get into too many pitchers counts, which you see 1 and 2 right now. But That's what you have to battle. You try to be aggressive at times. You try to stay in the strike zone.
I'm pounding him with fastballs. He's had difficulty with the fastball this series.
I agree with that.
Old school, no batting gloves, Carpenter.
Doesn't mean you can't throw him a breaking ball, but it just better not be for a strike to speed up his bat in his zone. That last pitch was a fastball at 91.
Yeah, and you think about the swing of Matt Carpenter, a lot of head movement. Seeing his setup, trying to stay tall. And he has a lot of movement towards the plate, which sometimes you'll start losing the barrel if you get a lot of head movement. Always listen to Tony Gwynn talk about keeping your head still to gain that consistency.
He spent money with men in scoring position this year, hitting .345. Knocked in 45 runs in situations just like this. Third and first, one out. Not a good swing there.
Now, if you look at this, the head movement going towards the plate and then having to try to pull your hands in where the heaviest part of your body is moving over the plate. Very difficult for Matt Carpenter. If he keeps that still, those hands are a lot easier to get into that inside slot and to keep that ball fair. Ooh, that was a good pitch.
3-2.
And it's not necessarily just on the takes as you seek this. You don't see that inside corner very well.
Yeah, that looked like a strike. That two-seamer coming back on the inside corner. But it was just off the plate. It remains full. Arizona wins again today 4-0 at Cincinnati. How about the Reds? They've lost 9 in a row. Arizona now a game above 500. They're only 6 games behind the Dodgers. Right field. Kemp has it. Tagging. Here comes the throw. And not in time. Reynolds able to tag and score. Waka stays at first base. It's 5-1. '64th run batted in for Matt Carpenter. So 2 outs to Tommy Pham. Walked and scored in the first inning.
Are they going to appeal this?
That he left too soon? No. Worth a try. Meanwhile, the pitcher Waka there at first base for a considerable amount of time in the inning. Against San Diego, he has his only home run and his only RBIs. The rest of the league know how to get him out.
There's always one guy, isn't there? Mark, what was your team? And don't go humble on me.
Well, it's easy to be humble because honestly, I didn't have many at bats against a certain team. I mean,
how about a certain pitcher? You can't think of one. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Nothing sticks out, honestly, because you have to have a basis of 20, 30 at bats against a certain guy. I couldn't tell you I had 20, 30 at bats against a certain guy. There's other guys that you saw the ball well. Kurt Schilling sticks out in my mind because obviously his success, but I saw the ball out of his hands. Yeah. I picked up his release point. It has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. 2-2 now to Pham.
You know, guys, when you see a hot hitter like Pham has been against the Padres, I just like to see the Padres staff move their feet a little bit more. Not saying they don't try to do it, but as a hitter, when you are comfortable, you feel like you're in that toe hold, you're in the batter's box, everything feels good. And obviously your swing is good, you're seeing it well.
Another foul, and that pitch count continues to rise for Colin Ray to 91 tosses now.
Anytime a pitcher moves your feet and you have to reposition yourself, it just jars you and puts another thought in your mind. You'll get out of the way most times, obviously.
Waka goes. Throw by Hedges is into center field. And Waka will hold right there. A stolen base for the pitcher. Alonso wasn't holding him on. That might be defensive indifference. And Waka will be credited with a stolen base.
Hey, if you're not getting held on and you feel you can get it, it takes the short way of getting out of the inning. Now he's in scoring position. Padres can't go to second base for the force on a grounder.
And the count moves to 3-2 on Pham.
Well, the way this Cardinal team has lost the last 2 nights, you have to take every advantage you have. And if they're going to give you the base, these pitchers are going to take it. Mike Matheny understands the importance of this game, getting this team back on track.
5-1 Cardinals here in the top of the 4th. Waka, the pitcher, at second base. And a fly ball to center. Melvin Upton easing his way into the gap for the final out. Another run for the Birds. It's 5-1.
Young is the oldest living survivor of the attacks at Pearl Harbor. Thank you so much for joining me. This next year will mark 75 years since the attack. Does it feel like that long, or are the memories still so vivid for you?
No, I don't feel old. I don't feel young either. Well, I feel normal, and I'm a survivor, and I'm thankful for that. And I was on a minesweeper for a while, for a year or so. Then troop transport, and I was on that for 3 years. And saw action all through the Central Pacific, and also in the South Pacific, in the Solomon Islands. And met some very good friends. I've never seen them since then, but I always think of them. And they were very, very good to me, very friendly, no prejudice or anything like that.
I want to ask you about the Friends because today you got a standing ovation when you threw out the first pitch. What does it mean to you that America still honors you in that way?
Well, I feel quite honored and thankful they gave me a chance to do something to help somebody else, and I'm very proud of that. And I can't think of it right now.
We all thank you so much for your service. And Dick, you'll love this. He won't say so, but he had a personal trainer who helps him get around and work out a little bit and helped him throw that pitch out today.
Yeah, that's great. Congratulations to Raymond Chavez to fire that first pitch today. We were all moved by the amazing effort by a man who says he's not old, but he's not young.
Just what a great story.
It is a great story.
Padres, as always, just doing a superb job of these military Sundays. Upton has grounded out to third. This is Austin Hedges with one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning against Michael Wacha. Got your ties on.
Yeah.
Those are nice. It's very special when you tie the
It is.
camo tie every Sunday.
Made out, I get a lot of people responding and talking about these. Made from authentic camouflage pants.
Yes. We are honored to wear these, and we don't take it lightly.
That's right.
When we do this, and we thank all our men and women that serve this great country, and it's an honor to do it in a small part on Sundays.
And the flyover, folks, that noisy flyover, they were close, those F-16s. That's the plane that Colonel Coleman flew. And so they tied all that together here on the salute to Vietnam veterans today. And the Marine Corps, of course, and the Marine hymn has just been played, and the fans standing and rhythmically applauding. Hedges walked his first time.
You guys ever toured the Arizona in Hawaii? It's one of the most moving experiences ever. If you ever get a chance to go visit Pearl Harbor.
Still bubbles coming up from deep in the water.
Right.
That's well out of play. Not going to get into a long discussion of it, but it is curious how in today's world we forget about what really happened on those days, and how some can turn it around, make the Americans the bad guys. Fly ball to center field. No, it's actually going to stay on the infield, and the shortstop Peralta makes the catch. Hey, that game break that we were promising you, let's go to Houston, where the Dodgers lead 2-1, but the base hit by Gonzalez ties it up at 2, and then the Astros get another run and win in 10. A home run by Castro, and the Dodgers, boy, that's a tough 3-game series, losing all 3. They've dropped 5 in a row.
Well, if you're a believer in the Houston Astros, they've had a tremendous year all year long. We saw them come in here to Petco Park and sweep the Padres.
They're believing, aren't they?
But they're just a special club. They bring some youth coming up, and they incorporate them. A.J. Hinch is the manager, and had a tremendous effort. They added at the trading deadline, and it's a team that was expected to win.
Line drive, and Walker caught, just reaches up with that big frame of his, and there's 3 away. On to the 5th, 5-1 for the visitors. have a new pitcher. We'll get to that in a moment. Cardinals leading 5-1. First, let's check the National University standings. The NL West, with the Dodgers losing their 5th in a row. San Francisco doesn't play at Pittsburgh until tonight. Arizona's won. They're only 5 back. And the Padres, should they rally and win this one, would be only 5.5 out of first place. When you go through that tough combination of Zach Greinke and Clayton Kershaw and come away with 2 losses, then you've got to go to the other 3 starters for the Dodgers, and they're much more ordinary. Our El Cajon Ford pitching change features Odrisamer Despaigne.
Well, the runs in the first, the pitch count got to Colin Ray, 4 innings, 5 runs, 5 hits. So enter Despaigne, and Jed Jerko will go in and play shortstop.
Double switch. Jerko put him in the 9th spot in the batting order. He'll lead off the bottom half of the inning.
Well, for Padre fans, just knowing that Despaigne is now coming out of the bullpen, and they do have a long man, in situations like this can be a valuable component to have coming out of the bullpen and getting you some innings, especially even after an off day tomorrow. It's very important to save your bullpen.
Peralta with a solid hit up the middle. He has now hit safely in the last 6 games. He greets Despaigne. Brings up Jason Hayward. Just checking the AAA Farm Club at the Padres El Paso, and the Chihuahuas really playing terrific ball. And now 69-58. They beat the Cardinals AAA team Memphis last night 9-3. And Jason Lane, he doesn't go away. He's 10-8.
He has been tremendous. The new manager that took Pat Murphy's spot, Jamie Quirk, the 17-year catcher veteran, been around him. He was my bench coach in Colorado. What a great man and a luxury to have in this Padre organization.
1-1. And in the game last night, Hunter Renfroe, the Padres' top pick a couple of years ago, has been advanced from San Antonio to El Paso, and so far in 4 games, 6 hits and a couple of home runs. So he's enjoying AAA action.
Now, sometimes that move from AA to AAA can be tough, but also it can give you a lot of confidence. And for Hunter Renfroe to go there and be at a certain level, it just proves to him that he's not too far away.
Line drive just almost hit Peralta. Now into the corner, so Peralta can keep right on running as Hayward doubles and holding at third. Peralta. Despaigne comes in, and a line drive single Peralta and a line shot by Hayward. So second and third, no one out for Molina. Here comes Pat Murphy, walk to the mound. Be a quick hook. It's 5-1.
Well, I see the location for Despaigne, and Hayward does a nice job. It's elevated. You're trying to hit that wall. You see Matt Kemp doing a nice job fielding it before it hits that Petco porch wall, because that could be troubles, and Peralta could have scored if he did not field that before the wall.
So this is Murphy not out to make a pitching change apparently, but to talk over the situation.
You know, Pat Murphy's doing all the talking to Austin Hedges right here. Maybe some translating going on with Solarte, but he's got to make an adjustment, get a pitch down here. It'll be interesting to see how they pitch Molina here.
Well, some of the things we've talked about, Mark, and you can further this, but for Despaigne, trusting his catcher. When Derek Norris was catching him and putting down a sign and executing a game plan, taking that thinking out of the equation. And he had some talking points, Pat Murphy did, to Austin Hedges. Maybe he's saying, hey, listen, lock into the scouting report and execute it.
So second and third, no one out. The infield will play halfway. Molina, the catcher, has an RBI single in the first inning. He grounded to short the last time.
Mark, you make a good point, because remember earlier in the year, Despaigne had a tendency to get a little tricky. Wanted to try to trick the hitters. He's got a good fastball.
Yes.
Obviously, he has to locate it. If he ever needed to locate a pitch here, it's this situation to keep it on the infield, or a strikeout would be nice as well. Look at the movement on that pitch.
94.
Yeah.
Plenty of velocity.
Looked like a wiffle ball out of his hand. Tremendous movement.
Well, after the Padres dominated the first 2 games of the series 9-3 and 8-0. And the Cardinals came out today on this sunny Sunday ready to make amends. Chance to add to their 5-1 lead. Foul tip on the breaking ball.
Yeah, it looked like Molina wanted to shoot that to right. All these Cardinals hitters are trained to go the other way, and especially use the big part of the field in RBI situations.
Does that go back to when you were a Cardinal?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that you're always talk about. But John Mabry, the hitting coach, also assistant hitting coach Bill Miller, these were guys that did it and had to do it at the big league level as well. And that's the message sent.
And the count runs out. 3-2. First base open, so a walk here isn't the worst thing. Sets up the double play.
It's a good firm fastball down and away. 94.
You see Molina asking home plate umpire where that pitch was. He wants to know if it was on the plate. That's the knowledge that you got to have. And if you feel like it was off the plate and you still fouled it off, he says it was on. You got to expand the strike zone a little bit.
And our Fox track, yes, it was on the corner. Right back to Despaigne. Fakes the third. Oh, Most throws it away. Alonso had to do a toe dance and reach up with a big glove. 1 away.
No need to rush that one. You got plenty of time to check that runner. Just a little flash look like he did. Especially with Molina. He's not going to burn up the base paths. Good fielding position. Snag it. Freeze him. He's working underneath that one a little bit.
All right, you walk him here and load him up and set up the double play with Mark Reynolds on deck. Scotty tripled the last time.
I think the first pitch will indicate what's going on here, and it's a wide one.
They're going to walk him.
I like this decision by Pat Murphy. If you're going to try to get out of this inning, you want it to be with one pitch, not try to go through multiple hitters if you don't have to. But also that 4-run cushion, you got to keep it there.
And Reynolds has grounded into 8 double plays this year.
And he's also a candidate for a strikeout.
Yep.
He strikes out about once every 3 at-bats. Now 4 wide ones, and Piscotty fills the void at first, joining Hayward at second and Peralta at third. Reynolds ripped a double to left center his last time after striking out in the first inning. .228 career average with the bases loaded, and that just happens to be his average on this season. .228.
Well, let's see if Despaigne works down and in the strike zone to try to induce that double play.
Way outside. Birds have filled the coop. Two and 0. Reynolds this year has had 6 other opportunities with the bases loaded. He's 3 for 6, one of them a home run. A lot of Cardinal fans here today, as was the case the first 2 games. There's a strike, and he barely got that on the corner. Well, you didn't know they were here the first 2 nights because they didn't have a lot to cheer about. Leading 5-1 here in the 5th inning today.
And you got to credit the Padres the way they played the first 2 games of this series and coming back for this one.
Pitching their tails off.
That's in there, or so Todd Tichenor thought.
The hitting, the pitching, and you know what? Hey, the tide turns sometimes, and you get pitches like this. That's why it's Austin Hedges. That ball is coming back. Frames it on that outside corner, gets the call.
Well, he does stick the pitches, doesn't he? 2-2. Not close.
And you talk about sticking pitches for Austin Hedges, and he has that subtle movement with his body to give the indication to that home plate umpire that it's coming back. It's not just with your glove.
So he kind of leans back his body back toward home plate as he catches the ball.
And that's what I've been impressed with the young backstop.
3-2 with the bases loaded. To shortstop, Jerko to second for 1, back to first, a double play. Well turned, Jerko, Spangenberg, Alonso, and Espana and the Padres out of trouble in the 5th inning. Oh, you gotta love the double play.
Seventh inning, and with the complete game gone by the wayside, you need some help from your friends in the pen. Sean Kelly comes in, 3rd of an inning, strikeout. Swing and a miss from Zepchinski, and then Bud Norris. Mark Sweeney, Dick Enberg, a great job by the bullpen last night picking up Ian Kennedy.
I love the bullpen. It was a big boost offensively, and they tack on 7 runs in the bottom half, and the best part of that is you didn't have to go to Joaquin Benoit, and you didn't have to go to the closer, Craig Kimbrell.
Thanks to the double play, the Padres escaped the top half of the inning, with the Cardinals still holding at 5-1. Jerko comes into the game hitting 9th, and Glenn Hoffman keeping that infield in the right position. That's a great feed by Jerko.
Yeah. Credit
long range.
And credit Pat Murphy pulling all the right strings. Nice mound visit, and you see the emotion executing, and that's what the Padres have really done and why they're winning games consistently now.
Jerko homered off Walker in St. Louis.
How about Jed getting tested on that grounder to his right and then feeding to second base? Nicely done.
It's an infield that hasn't worked that much together with Jerko at short and Spangenberg at second.
Well, you think about defensively for Jed Jerko and why he's at short. It's not necessarily the range, but soft hands and very accurate with the throws and nice feed, as you guys talked about.
Need that arm also at shortstop, right, Mark? Going to the hole and making the throw.
I think that's the tough part. That 5.5 hole, you get there to your right, you have to plant and throw that hard throw.
Try to get something started here in the home half of the 5th inning. 3-2 now to Jed. And he works Waka for a walk. Second free ticket from Waka. Top of the order, Jan Solarte. Looped a single to left field his last time. Well, he's now totally predictable. He does not swing until there's a strike thrown.
Well, I like that because that is part of the confidence as a hitter. When you're seeing the ball very well, it's all right to take strike one at times.
Back toward us, and Solarte is the 6th toughest to strike out in the National League. Strikes out only once every 9.4 at bats. Michael Waka looking for his 15th win of the year.
You know, that's what I mean right there, and it's a good pitcher's pitch, and Solarte staying off of that. But this is an aggressive hitter that knows he can work counts at times.
And he does strike out there, and on to second base on the ball getting away. It's a wild pitch strikeout. Jerko to second.
You know, Waka does such a fine job also repeating that delivery as well. I mean, that last pitch, same tempo, but it was a changeup out of the hand. And even though it was bounced, it's a tough pitch to lay off when you've got everything working.
It's only his second strikeout. That's unusual. He's usually around a strikeout per inning. Spangenberg takes a curveball for a strike. Well, the news for our Little League kids from Sweetwater Valley not good today. Harleman, Texas beat them 8-4. But it is double elimination. They're not out of the Little League championship. And now they're going to have to fight their way back through the consolation side. Try to pick up that run. Padres trailing 5-1. Another strike. Fastball. I know, my mind wandering off to a crazy place. I'm thinking about Johnny Carson and Carmack.
What do you got for us, Carmack?
Well, Waka Waka.
Waka Waka.
What is the sound made by a fat man and walking in a wet swimming suit?
Waka.
Waka
Waka. You are correct, sir. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Almighty one.
Not to be personal there, Michael. I admire your work and your talent. Left field, but it's right at Piscotty. And that's the second out here in the 5th inning and brings up Matt Kemp.
Oh, that's a really nice swing on a good changeup by Corey Spangenberg. He's going back to the dugout, but he's got to feel good about that 2-strike approach going the other way.
You know, Mark, last night in his first at-bat, he did the same type of thing. He went to left field, hit it sharply, but it wasn't out. Got to keep swinging, right?
Yeah, and that's a nice approach. You can see in the frustration in dealing with that when you put on and execute your game plan and going the other way.
Matt Kemp Looks for a hit to extend that streak to 15 games, and a hit could mean a run here. Padres need it. Ball one. Way out in front.
You see Michael Wacha shifting his approach now and pitching backwards. The secondary stuff early in the counts. The good change-ups, and then also having that secondary stuff set up the fastball location both inside and outside.
Kemp with the big base hit in that 7-run 7th inning last night with the bases loaded. It was 1-0 at the time.
You know, guys, you think about the situation that Michael Wacha in executing his game plan. Well, Yadier Molina, the security blanket, is behind the plate, putting down signs, and that trust factor goes a long way with the veteran backstop.
Two outs, Jerko at second. Check swing foul. He was fooled on the pitch, able to get enough of it to stay alive.
You know, good things happen after an approach like that. An awkward swing, but staying alive and giving yourself another opportunity.
Two and two, the curveball. Well, a base hit and a run here would bring some life back to the Padre crowd and to Padre hopes, trailing 5-1. Upton next. Another breaking ball.
A lot of soft stuff. And he's locating it away, which is key. You leave that hanger middle in.
Cardinals got 4 in the first inning if you're just joining us, and currently lead 5-1. And he strikes him out. Change up. Kemp just breaks the bat in half, angry with himself. How beautiful a scene that is here in San Diego. We're pleased you're with us and delighted that the Marines from Camp Pendleton were brought to the game today on the Fan Express, courtesy of National University. To date, National University has given more than $1 million to our current and former military. Five innings complete, 5-7-1 for the Cardinals, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Padres. Despaignet's second inning of work starts with Greg Garcia.
How about you lending your sailboat out? That was nice of you.
Yeah, I'd like to get that spinnaker. It needs action.
Yeah.
Not much of a water enthusiast. I don't know. I almost drowned when I was a kid. Maybe that has something to do with it. I like it when somebody else's nice boat invites you on and they have little hors d'oeuvres and libations.
Yeah,
I like that.
That happened to me when I was a kid as well. I had a scary incident. My mom came in and rushed in, got me, and brought me to the beach. And she said, "Why don't you take a little blow and then go out and have another swim?" I'm kidding. It's a joke. Come on. It's a joke.
And she dropped you. You went out a mile and she dropped you in the water and left you.
Hey, I remember the inside corner with your floaties. That's what I thought about. You always have to go
but
out there with
I did
your
have a
floaties.
panic attack once, seriously. And you know what's ironic? It happened in St. Louis at a friend's house on a lake.
How can you be serious after a joke?
Oh, come on.
2 strikes to Garcia. Now 1-2.
Hey.
Now, hubba.
It's Carlos Hernandez.
That's got to be a friend of Eduardo Ortega and Carlos, doesn't it?
Off the fist, soft roller. And Spangenberg better hurry, and he just does get him. Garcia hustling up the line. Yeah, the Cardinals have been able to pluck some terrific talent out of their farm system. Just 3 years ago was Matt Carpenter. 2 years ago, Matt Adams. He does look like Yonder Alonso, doesn't he? Colton Wong last year, Randall Grichuk this year. And you pointed out the likeness of Grichuk.
Yeah, he actually looks like David Wright of the New York Mets in that
call.
picture. But yes, there's a lot of youthful talent in this organization, and they're very happy with their position players moving forward.
You know, I talked to a scout regarding the Cardinals, and he said this, that they don't rush their players. They draft gamers, guys who are passionate about the game. Not so much necessarily tremendously talented guys, but guys that have a passion and that are gamers, and they don't rush them. I mean, if there's going to be an injury, sure, they'll bring guys up. But being a gamer means running through a wall, playing the game right, being smart about your limitations. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, because you think about Mike Matheny and organizing all of that talent. You have to send a message and a culture, and that's exactly what they've tried to do moving forward off the Hall of Famer Tony La Russa. Mike Matheny is his own manager and setting the tone inside your clubhouse and your dugout and performance on the field.
Well, they all say the same thing, baseball organizations, all 30, that you like to work with the major leaguers the same way as your rookie league players, the same philosophy, the same coaching. But some just do it better than others.
Yes. Well, it's not that easy to have a consistent message. And it's not like the other organizations are trying to fail. It's just some of them are very good and better at each other. You know, and that's what the St. Louis Cardinals, I've been in that organization. That's the reason why I'll say that.
And Waka strikes out for the second out here in the 6th inning. And the proof is in the performance. As we mentioned, the Cardinals likely to be in the playoffs again this year, and that'll make it 12 out of the last 16 seasons. A hearty thank you to the troops, brought to you by Bank of America. Nice that our Marine recruits can enjoy a day at the ball yard. A shot to Alonso, but he's right there to guard the line, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Still 5-1 St. Louis.
Bottom of the 6th from Petco Park. The Cardinals 5 and the Padres 1. And tweet your strongest fan photo. This is fun because you can use the hashtag. Use the hashtag SDDataStrongFan. You might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
Let's take a selfie.
You both have a baseball. You're going to have a contest here after the game? What's up?
I was actually just figuring out how to throw a knuckleball because you don't see many left-handed knuckleballs.
Oh, you'd be tough.
Jason Lane, right?
Jason Lane throws occasionally, but not constantly.
You know, you say left-handed knuckleballer in Mr. Enberg. I know you're Wilbur Wood back in the day.
He pitched both ends of the doubleheader.
Yes. I remember talking to Tom Candiotti, former roommate of mine in winter ball. He learned the knuckleball. And
that ball is ripped into the left field corner. Justin Upton bounce off the wall. Piscotty will play it in, and Upton with a double. That's the hardest hit ball off Walker today.
Well, the Padres need to get these fans here on this Sunday afternoon some jumping around to do. As this pitch here, it's down away, but it leaks over the outer third of the plate.
Yeah, and you can see on our phantom cam and pulling his hands in. This was an absolute bullet and straight to left field. No hook on that baseball by Justin Upton. His 3rd double in the last 2 days.
5th Padre hit today. Let's see if they can cut into that 5-1 St. Louis lead. Alonso singled and scored back in the 2nd. Came in on Clint Varmus' bloop single. And the bullpen busy now for St. Louis.
Steve Cishak, the ex-closer of the Miami Marlins.
1-1 to Alonso. Last time up with a couple of men aboard, he squirreled one right on home plate and was tagged out by Molina. Ooh, another play by Walker. That's twice he has picked off line drives up the middle. He did it against Varmus in the 4th inning. Wow, what reaction time.
Not a bad fielding position. Walker, good reaction, falling off a little bit. It's amazing what the body can do and react to a ball coming right at you.
And that ball gets through. It's a Padre run. Instead, Upton still at 2nd, 1 out.
It's not like he broke his bat on that one, huh?
Melvin Upton is fouled out and grounded up. Walker's pitch count up to 95. Do you ever wear sunglasses while in the field or at bat?
I actually liked it. It relaxed my eyes, especially these days with Oakleys that Melvin is wearing today. It does. It relaxes your eyes. A lot of people don't use them because of that nose piece. They see it in their vision. It takes away squinting, which I think is probably the best benefit.
Two and 2 to Melvin. Left field, hooking in the corner, but Piscotty is there to make the play. Now 2 away, 2 balls fairly well hit by Alonso and Upton. That brings up Austin Hedges.
Take a look at our phantom cam and you can see where this ball is off the end of the bat just a little bit, hangs up for Piscotty, which had a really good jump to his right. Take a look at the Folkleys out there.
Help your eyes here a little bit.
See, you're not squinting.
Yeah.
Hedges walked and popped up. Padres have had some chances, runners in scoring position today, but they're only 1 for 8. In the previous 5 games, all wins, they were well over 300. Another ball well hit, but right to an outfielder. Pham there. So 3 line drive outs, and that's the way it goes. They had 4 blue pits. Now 3 line drives for outs. Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Sequan Casino. Play, win together in the heart of San Diego. By Mercury Insurance. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today and see how much you could save. And by GMC. Precision matters. Sailor comes home to the rewards. Out by the USS Midway here in San Diego, a popular tourist site. Popular photo opportunity there as well. Marines having a good time. Now let's see if we can generate a comeback. But first, Espana in the top of the 7th, facing Pham, Peralta, and Hayward. Just going back to the point we tried to make at the end of the last inning, and the Padres, their first 4 singles were all dinking and dunking.
Yeah.
And then they hit 3 line drives in the last inning, and they all go for outs.
That's why this game will drive you crazy, right?
Yeah.
No guarantees. You hit it on the sweet spot.
Breaking ball slowly winds its way in there at 69. Pham, a walk and scored. Hard comeback out to the pitcher and a fly ball to center. That's in there. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Espana.
Good breaking ball. It wasn't the big looping curveball. It was a tight slider right on the outside corner.
And again, you can see how Hedges just freezes that catch.
Glove doesn't move as big right-hander Jonathan Broxton heats up for St. Louis.
Fastball at 92 upstairs. Peralta safe on an error. Grounded out and singled. That error committed by third baseman Solarte, a very crucial one back in the first inning. I mean, games turn on certain plays. Solarte had a soft line drive hit to him with a man at third. Had he caught the ball cleanly, he would have had a double play, and the Cardinals wouldn't have scored in the first inning. But he dropped the ball, and then the Cardinals took full advantage, scoring four times. I'm just guessing, but I'm quite certain that Solarte will say he took his eye off the ball to see if he could get that runner at third when he catches it, and it just isn't automatic. 3-1. Peralta. 3 innings to go for the Padres. They've had success against the Cardinal bullpen. She doesn't even want to be close to him now. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, just goes off his glove and then thank you very much. Gentleman in the mezzanine gets it for some young kid. Well, Tuesday night we'll be in the nation's capital, and James Shields will be on the mound for the Padres against Steven Strasburg, the San Diego State All-America. Our game time, broadcast time, 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. Tyson Ross gets the call on Wednesday night against Max Scherzer. So they got their best lined up against the Padre hitters in Washington. And that catches him on the right hand.
I wonder if they hit the bat first. No? No argument from Austin Hedges.
Peralta hit by pitch.
Hey! Did that hit the bat or his hand?
Might have been simultaneous.
Huh.
Jason Hayward is enjoying a 2-for-2 afternoon on base all 3 at bats. A looping single and scored. He walked. He stolen his 19th base, and then he doubled the last time.
I think that ball hit his fingers first, then the bat, Dick, as we go back. Hey, let's zoom in and take a look. Fingers first, and then barrel the bat. Yeah. And then it hit Austin, and then hit the umpire, and then next thing you know.
And the 7 ball goes in the pocket on the left side. Espagne pitching inside.
He's using more of the fastball this inning, it looks like. Very aggressive with the number 1. Fastball in.
And it's right by Alonso in the bag, down the right field corner. Peralta to third. Peralta being waved home. The throw to the plate, not in time. 6-1 St. Louis. Hayward, a triple. Pass first base. Alonso leaving the bag, holding on Peralta. That's natural, and Hayward found the little gap there for the second triple of the game for the Cardinals. And Hayward 3 for 3 with a walk.
It's got to be so frustrating for a first baseman. You're doing your job holding on the runner, then you go to your position, then you got to go all the way back there. But by the time he planted, the ball was well out of the reach of Yonder Alonso, hit sharply just inside the bag.
For Hayward now, he's a home run shy of the cycle today. Molina, high fly, Melvin Upton in right center. That'll get another run home. Hayward can walk in. It's 7-1. Second run batted in for Yadier Molina. Well, the Padres with 9 runs and then 8 runs. The Cardinal pitching staff had never given up that many runs in back-to-back games, as they won the first 2, and now the Cardinals pan back. It's 7-1. 2 outs to Piscotty. He's done some damage. A 2-run triple back in the first inning. Oh, and 2. Those glasses aren't rose colored if you're a Padres fan today. Espagne's had a top velocity, 94.
Yeah. And you know, when he subtracts a little bit, it creates a little bit of movement. We've seen that 2-seam fastball move. Right-handed hitter back on that outside corner.
Bad Ball is hit deep to left field. He is hitterish, and he's homerish into the second deck. Number 3 on the season for rookie Stephen Piscotty. Circles the bases, and when he hits home plate, it'll be 8-1. A 3 RBI game from Piscotty.
Well, he had a head 1-2 count and a breaking ball, a curveball that leaked middle in. Wanted to get it down and away.
Mark Reynolds struck out, doubled and scored, and bounced into a double play. Three-run 7th inning for the Cardinals. And they're still going at it. Reynolds into the left field corner, and he's on his way to second base with his second double of the game. They're teeing off on Despaigne after he struck out Pham. He hit Peralta. Then the RBI triple Hayward, a sacrifice fly Molina, home run Piscotty, double Reynolds. Ten hits now for the Cardinals on the day. Our closed captioning today brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Just called up last night, Garcia. If you weren't with us earlier, El Cajon product went to Valhalla High School.
And I'm sure Greg's dad, Dave, should be in attendance today. Dave Jr. Got to know Dave over the years. Watching his son.
Shot to second, but Spanchenberg makes the play. The Cardinals 3 more and 3 hits. Now lead 8-1 and stretch half of the 7th inning. By tradition here on Military Sundays, the singing of God Bless America. The same gentleman, Lieutenant Commander Abe Thompson, with a rendition today.
It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Before we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" as part of our salute to veterans, please stand and wave your flags in the salute of our military. When you do, Bank of America will donate $1 on behalf of each person in attendance to the Wounded Warrior Project. Now, please welcome back retired United States Navy Commander Abe Thompson. Please sing along as he presents "God Bless America."
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Race history brought to you by Geico, and this one was in July this year in St. Louis. Will Venable, 11th inning, pinch hit home run of Carlos Villanueva, and the Padres would win it 5-3. Padres split that 4-game series in July, as you'll remember, taking 2 out of 3 so far this series, trailing today 8-1. Amarista pinch hits against Jonathan Broxton in from the bullpen for St. Louis.
Oh, the big old right-hander toned the slab. He's a strikeout pitcher. 43 strikeouts in 43 plus innings. Not bad with the walks.
Amarista batting in the pitcher's spot. Brandon Moss takes over at first base for Reynolds. That's a double switch, so he'll be leading off in the 8th inning, placed in the 9th spot in the batting order. Well, we told you the St. Louis Cardinals hitters, as you see Zepsinski getting ready, they love to score runs for Michael Wacha, more than any National League pitcher. They were averaging 6 runs a start for Wacha, and they get 8 today.
Well, like Rod Stewart saying, some guys get all the luck. Some guys get all the pain. Some guys get all the breaks. Some guys do nothing but complain.
Go on. I'm liking this. Poet's Corner with Mark Grant. And down goes Amarista on the high fastball.
Broxton can still bring it. Get that big frame going towards home plate. Out of the hand, it looks like a 4-seam fastball up the ladder. You can see how far behind Alexi is on the strikeout. And we thank the Marine recruits for taking part of their day and enjoying the game at Petco Park. Thanks for all they do, and good luck to them all.
Heading back to their home base. There's something very special when they played that Marine hymn, and they're all standing at attention up there in right field. Fans applauding in rhythm to the music. Jerko batting for the 2nd time. He walked as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning. A couple of hits for Justin Upton, a single and a double. Solarte a blue pit, Alonso a blue pit. On the Broxton fastball. There was a time when the big right-hander would hit the century mark.
Oh, yeah.
And another strikeout. Slider gets Jerko.
As promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to #SD Data Strong Fan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Thank you very much, Brandon. At BW. What's that underscore? DCXIX. I'm sure that's a Roman numeral. If there's somebody out there who knows what that is, let me know. XIX would be 24, wouldn't it? Or 20.
Who said 19? I don't know. I get confused.
29, maybe?
Don't burn up brain cells trying to figure this out. He just did it to confuse you. Solarte, 1 for 3.
I think it's 19.
33,756. I'd like to put that in Roman numerals for you, but
I was just
we
going
don't
to say,
have the time.
yeah.
So the season attendance now 1,912,000. Lots of big games left on the schedule. Base hit to center field as Solarte has a couple of hits again today. 2-out single. That brings up Corey Spangenberg. And when the Padres go on the road, you'll have a chance to get your tickets for the next homestand. We'll be in Washington and Philadelphia for 3 and 3, and then back a week from Monday. 3 with the Texas Rangers. We'll see Will Venable in a different uniform. Then 4 with the Dodgers, and then 4 with Colorado. That's because the open date at the end of the 3-game scheduled series with Colorado is going to be filled by that rainout that we had earlier in the year when the Rockies were in town.
Well, Dick, our statistician, the angry one, Mike Trussell, who does a fine job. Don't get me wrong, folks. I love that guy like a brother.
No, you don't.
Yeah, he came up with DCXIX is 619.
Oh, so they've used the area code, and
yeah,
that's very clever.
Well, thank you very much.
Slice to left field. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. Double into the corner. Running all the way is Solarte, and he holds a third. No reward there in risking an out at home plate when you're trailing 8-1, but Spangenberg with a solid double to left.
Corey has done that so well. Remember, I mentioned it earlier last night. He smoked the ball to left field. There was an out. He smoked the ball to left field today for an out. Still going to left field. Thank goodness for the Padre left-handed hitting second baseman. He is rewarded with a double. Keep swinging.
And Matt Kemp gets another chance to extend his hitting streak to 15. He's grounded out, fouled out, and struck out. A couple of RBIs sitting out there for him. A couple of teammates facing each other here. Broxton and Kemp were Dodgers together. Still ripping his pants from breaking his bat in half in anger when he struck out the last at bat. Or is that just pine tar? Looks like a rip, but it is the pine tar.
It sure does.
Yeah, that's pine tar. I was going to say, if that's a rip, then his thigh may not feel too good.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to do that, if you're going to, in frustration, break the bat over you, better make darn sure that you do break the bat, because you're going to look like a fool if you don't. And your leg's going to hurt.
2-0 coming up.
First time I saw that happen was at Candlestick Park my rookie year. Chili Davis struck out, and in frustration he did this. And then the slow-mo.
You can see why the pine tar left a stain.
Yeah, and kids, I know you try to emulate big leaguers. Don't do that with an aluminum bat. Don't try.
2-2. So have you ever tried that? Is that why you're giving them that good
because
advice?
I'm not strong enough to do it.
I
would break my, what is that, your femur?
Yeah, well, plus that quadriceps area. It's the biggest muscle and the biggest bone, but when you apply that kind of force. Up the middle, and another good job by the pitching of the St. Louis Cardinals, they've handled that comebacker well all day. Padres come up empty. It's still 8-1.
Right now in the top of the 8th inning, Mark and I are working on Padres Live, the postgame show, which will be brought to you today by Cox Communications. We're going to get you ready for the upcoming series on the road, the Washington Nationals. They won today, but they've been scuffling.
Yeah, they've been scuffling. We see Danny Espinosa offensively at home with a double off the wall. They had 7 extra base hits today, second most all year. That offense needs to get it going. It's a talented pitching staff.
So when we see you in a postgame show, we'll get you all set for that series. Also, you're going to hear from Pat Murphy, and we'll discuss the Dodgers, who lost again today, and their bullpen problems, and whether we think that's going to mean the demise of the Dodgers in the National League West. So we'll look forward to seeing you after the final out, gentlemen.
Yeah, lots to offer. That's right after the game today with our gang from Hee Haw, Mike and Mark.
Hey, Dick, you know what I'm surprised at the Dodgers? The Dodgers didn't go after bullpen help at the deadline. Doesn't mean they still can't do it, but my goodness, that's been the kryptonite for the Dodgers. They didn't do it. They stay tuned to that one as Mark Zubczynski, the left-hander, enters for San Diego.
Yeah, both Greinke and Kershaw the last 2 games pitched well enough to win, but Houston rallies to take both games and tightly attack. Whoa, broken bat. Lumber flying all over the infield, and out at first base is Brandon Moss. Batting for the first time. Actually, that's a 5-3 putout as Solarte was over there on the right side.
Wow, you talk about getting in the kitchen of Brandon Moss. He's rattling pots and pans. Shrapnel all over the place.
Mark Zubczynski gets the first out here in the 8th inning, and that'll bring up Matt Carpenter. His slump continues. Hit the ball hard the last time, but right to Spangenberg. Well, he's now 0 for 19. But did have a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning. Despaigne ate up 3 innings. Swing and a miss. Gave up 3 runs, all earned, 5 hits. Hit 1, walked 1, struck out 2. Starter Colin Ray, 4 innings, 5 runs, 4 earned. Was a bit unlucky. 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. And a swing and a miss. Boy, Carpenter is really having trouble. That just isn't the same man that we saw earlier in St. Louis. 0 for the last 20.
And the sweeping breaking ball. We saw it last night by Zubczynski. Once again, down and away for the strikeout.
When you're in a slump, you're swinging at bad pitches. Tommy Pham 0 for 3 today, but he did walk and score in the first inning. We mentioned earlier that starter Ray was unlucky in that there was a ball hit in the first inning with a man at third base and 1 out that was right in the glove of Solarte. If he catches it, he goes to third for a double play, and the Cardinals get no runs in the first. Instead, they scored 4. It's a song way back in my youth. Kitty Callan. It was a #1 song.
Yeah.
Little Things Mean a Lot.
Oh, you got that right.
Oh, I know you've been waiting for this, fans. Our Fan Diego fan of the game, and who else but our 103-year-old military veteran from Pearl Harbor. Oh, isn't it great to have him here? And he's staying right to the last out.
You bet. That's great.
Raymond Chavez. He was in Pearl Harbor that day of notoriety. Nice play made by Spangenberg. 1-2-3 inning for Zepchinski. By Jack in the Box. Try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. By Petco, what we feed them matters. And by USAA, official military appreciation partner of the San Diego Padres. Out near the USS Midway, if you haven't taken that tour, folks, that's a great way to spend a day. And you have friends traveling into our great city. One of the many wonderful stops. Don't forget Balboa Park. It's almost a well-kept secret for people out of town. They don't realize how close it is to downtown and all the hotels and so much there to enjoy. Not only the greatest zoo in the world, but all the other beautiful museums, including the Hall of Champions Museum, one of the finest in the country. Steve Cishek comes in to work the 8th inning. Upton, Alonso, and Melvin Upton to bat.
Acquired from the Marlins before the deadline, Cishek. Allowed only 2 earned runs since the 1st of June.
And he's got that wicked, almost submarine delivery.
Yeah, pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball, slider. Sinking action out of the right-hander Cishek. On the sidearm. Coming right at your hip pocket if you're a right-handed hitter. Tries to work down in the zone, work those ground balls.
Padres trail 8-1 and yet have had many opportunities. Only 1 for 11 runners in scoring position. A ball, 2 strikes to Upton. Hit to center. Pham has plenty of room. 1 away. And it's time now for the Cholula flamethrower.
Now Steve Cishek on the mound. 91. That's
tepid sauce.
That's ketchup.
That's good hot
that's
sauce.
ketchup. That's what that is. Ketchup.
No.
It's mashed
you
tomatoes.
Like it. You like it up there, 98, 99, where you get breathless. But some of the rest of it's just a nice, subtle taste of Cholula. It doesn't have to overpower you.
That ain't pico de gallo, because that's muy cali. That's muy picante there. I'm going ketchup. Stadium secret sauce.
I'm sure our sponsors really love the fact that you're promoting their product as ketchup. But
no, that's not what I'm doing at all. Cholula.
Good luck in your next job.
No, Cholula is a great product. I'm a big fan. I love the wood knob on it.
Too late now. Another line drive, but Pham positioned perfectly. Alonso has lined out the last 2 at bats. He's 1 for 4 in the game. There we go. We'll make up for it right. There's that wooden cord. Is that yeah?
It's a screw. It's a screw-on cap.
It's
It's
their stopper.
Yeah, it's their signature.
So is it wooden because metal cap or aluminum cap because of that? Really hot sauce would eat away at aluminum. Or
I'm not
metal?
sure about that, but it's the iconic cap for Cholula, and that's a good question, Professor. Be my homework for the week.
Okay, look up lollygag at the same time.
We can do that.
Well, look who's up here. Travis Jankowski. 4 for 8. He's a big leaguer.
Look at him.
Make that 5 for 9. You know what? That just reminds me so much of Tony Gwynn. That's the Tony Gwynn swing. Just drive it through that 5-5 hole. Wouldn't he be smiling now?
He certainly would be. And what are the famous words from the late, great Tony Gwynn? Take what they give you and put a good swing on it. And Jankowski does just that. He doesn't try to pull this ball. He knows that Cishek is from down under. Hitting down on that ball, hitting it through the 5.5 hole. Nice swing, Travis Jankowski.
He's making an impression here that he wants to be in the big leagues to stay. Hedges has walked, popped up and lined to center. 0-2. Eight runs, 10 hits for the Cardinals. 1 run, 8 hits for San Diego. But the Padres, regardless of the score today, have done something they have not accomplished since 2006, and that's win the season series against the Cardinals. Two and 2 in St. Louis, and at the very worst 2-1 here in this homestand. It appears, as always, good things come to an end. Padres matching their longest winning streak of the season, 5 in a row. Mike Matheny's team coming back to lead by a big score today. Cardinals continue their West Coast swing, 4 at Arizona and then 3 at San Francisco. Pittsburgh and the Giants play tonight. Ground ball sharply, but at Peralta, and the inning comes to an end. On to the 9th. The Birds by 7. First inning, that was Solarte drops that line drive, could have been a double play, and then the inning continues and the Cardinals score 4 runs. Molina driving in one with that single to left field. And young Piscotty, line drive by second, goes all the way to the right center field wall, and that knocks in 2 more in a 4-0 lead. Piscotty would homer later. Part of an 8-1 St. Louis advantage, and because he hasn't had much work of late, Craig Kimbrell comes into a game instead of for a save just to get some work.
Yeah, off day tomorrow, so shake off a little rust, as Kimbrell the last time out was against the Atlanta Braves on Wednesday. He got the save in that game. And the kid, Travis Jankowski, will go out and play center field.
Kimbrell picked up his 35th save of the year in that win against Atlanta Wednesday afternoon. Peralta has been on base 3 times, safe on that error, that drop line drive at third by Solarte. Breaking ball there. He grounded out single, hit by a pitch and score. Jason Hayward's had a big game, 3 for 3 and a walk. And he is a home run shy of the cycle, by the way.
You know, that would be, what do they call that, a natural cycle? Single, double, triple, home run in succession.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it doesn't happen. There's our cycle guy right there, Matt Kemp.
Finally. 47 years. A cycle in Colorado. Way outside. 3-1. Of foul balls today in the upper deck. They rattle around and then bounce down into the lower levels to the delight of Homo sapiens.
Hey, there's a Will Myers fan. Okay, we see you. I miss Will Myers. I do. I miss him on the field.
Padres
yeah.
Team misses him, and the fans do as well. Yeah, he's got that boyish demeanor. And
big fan of Sweet Tea.
Is he ever going to come back?
There he is. The kid's always got a smile on his face. He always wants to talk to somebody. He's always talking ball. Working the cheek way. Yeah, look at him.
Another foul. When he comes back, and we just have a short sight on Jankowski, but let's assume that Jankowski's for real. And you got Spangenberg and Myers, some real youth to look forward to cheering. Ball 4. How about our Bill Howe plays of the game? Jason Hayward. Single and just dropped one. Saw a fly ball to center. Double ripped into the right field corner. Almost hit Peralta, the base runner. And a triple. That one scoots by the bag and Alonso, and with his speed, Hayward able to make a 3-bagger out of it. Single, double, triple. You know what he's thinking. Take strike 1.
I've always liked this kid. Love everything about him. Just the way he plays, the way he swings. Big fan.
Good defensive player.
Yep.
Good arm.
I would like to see him punch out here, though.
Yes, 11 home runs.
How outfield playing swing the other way against Jason Hayward. Jankowski playing on the shortstop side of second base. In center field.
Sharp break, but dips low. 2-1. Kimbrel has given up 4 home runs this year.
Wow, Mark Grudzielanek, the last time in 2005 for a Cardinal to hit for the cycle.
And it's not going to happen if that ball stays in foul territory for Solarte. It does. 1 away. Tony Cruz is going to pinch hit for Molina. Give Molina bat off and that bat off. Alonso not holding on the runner. Peralta. .98 on that fastball.
I'm sure Tony Cruz saying to Mike Matheny, hey, Skip, thanks. You know,
right.
Sitting on the bench all afternoon, and I've got to go up there and try to swing the bat against Craig Kimbrel.
Oh, man. 97 just missed. Kevin Segrist. He's been a busy man this year. Been in as many games as any relief pitcher in baseball. Misses again at 98. Trevor Rosenthal. He's had a quiet series. We haven't seen him in action because the games have all been lopsided. 3-2.
Yeah, that's been a good thing for San Diego. Not a good thing this afternoon with the big lead. And that's always one of the keys when you play the Cardinals, to keep it out of the hands of Segrist. He's going to get some work. Seth Maness. He's, you know, he's their 7th, 8th, 9th inning guys, and then Rosenthal in the 9th.
Rosenthal with 38 saves. Kimbrel 35.
You know what's an interesting little nugget for baseball fans if they're watching this game? You know, the save. We talk about the save rule. There's a sports writer in Chicago, Jerome Holtzman, who came up with the concept, and then Baseball Incorporated to Google it. It's an interesting little nugget if you're a baseball fan. How he came up with the rules for the save and what a pitcher has to do to record a save. Jerome Holtzman used to write for the Chicago Tribune, was it? Yeah.
Or was he the Sun-Times? I think it was the Trib.
Yeah, we could look that up. Good man, Jerome was. But his philosophy was, hey, you know what? These guys come into a game and they don't get any credit for anything. We should honor what they do in the game and be rewarded some way with some type of statistic.
Another foul off the bat of Cruz. One out here in the 9th inning. The Cardinals enjoying a handsome lead, 8-1. Did that hit that little boy? He's crying. Oh. Finally, no, this one's foul as well.
Dick, 1960. Jerome Holtzman came up with the idea of the save. Wrote for the Chicago Daily News and the Chicago Sun-Times. He's a Hall of Famer too.
Yes, he won the Spink Award.
Yeah.
Yeah, saw him on the beat with the White Sox back when I was working the Angel games.
Nice.
Another foul. Cruz making Kimbrel work here. 22 pitches now in this ninth inning for Kimbrel. Well, they wanted him to knock off the rust. He hadn't been on the mound much. He's certainly getting more than his share of pitches. Another foul. Well, you saw that sailboat. That's the 4:30 to Catalina Island. We're going to miss that one.
Yeah, this one
Yep.
right here, right?
Yeah.
I think he's on time.
Oh, is he on time? Good. So wonderful poetry about the movement of a sailboat, isn't it?
Sailing takes me away. Christopher Cross.
Curveball, strike three called. Finally, Kimbrel says, "Get out of here! You're wearing me out with those foul balls."
Well, it's the equalizer. Tony Cruz watches the old spinner go by for the strikeout.
Rookie Stephen Piscotty has a home run and a triple today. He's knocked in 3 runs and scored a couple himself. One.
The save became an official stat in baseball in 1969.
That was the first year of the Padres.
Yes.
Well, our game today is presented in beautiful HD by Sony.
How many U's are in that one? Beautiful.
It's about a 4U day. For you.
Right. Or 4 sheep.
Well, U incorporates all genders.
F-O-U-R-E-W-E.
Oh, I see where you're going there. Yeah. Not bad.
That's a strike. Austin Hedges didn't even move his glove. Did you see that? 97, 98, bang. Glove just stays right there. Doesn't take it out of the zone, even though he didn't get the call. It's good to have that as a catcher.
28th pitch for Kimbrel here in the 9th. And it's 3-1. Overthrew that one. Yeah, this is one of those games. Not a lot of bright spots for the home team. Cardinals due for a win. Snap the 5-game losing streak of the Padres. Piscotty skies one off first. Alonso. His arms aren't long enough to reach into the 3rd row.
Okay, Dick, I think you'll appreciate this.
I know I will.
Want to button up the save thing. The first save, Bill Singer came in 1969 and pitched 3 innings to save it for
the California Angels. No? Well, he was with the Dodgers before.
The Winder.
For the Winder. He came in for Don Drysdale and got the save. Singer then eventually came over to the Angels just about that time.
Pretty interesting, huh?
Bill Singer, Bullet Bill Singer. He had a no-hit, no-run game.
Yes, he did.
Boy, another bomb hit by Piscotty. That ball's way out in left center and gone. Yeah, he's hitterish all right. How about 2 home runs and a triple? 5 runs batted in for Stephen Piscotty, the 24-year-old former Stanford star. Wow. At the start of the season, a name that Major League Baseball didn't even recognize. And here he is, because of the injuries, getting a chance. They have another good one.
Well, he got his hands through very quickly. You have to when Craig Kimbrel is on the mound. He turned on that inside fastball.
So Craig Kimbrell with 2 outs in the 9th will be relieved. We'll be right back. A triple, and the Cardinals now lead 10-1. So let's look ahead. Off day to travel tomorrow to the nation's capital. Washington's had their troubles of late, 8-15 in their last 23 games. We'll see Bryce Harper, certainly a candidate for MVP, leading the National League in home runs, and right-hander Steven Strasburg. Last 3 starts, he's had his game going. Although on the season, he's 7-6.
A lot of expectation for the Washington Nationals prior to this year with that lineup. Only hitting .248, lower half, lower third ranking in the National League.
That's how the ball looks to Piscotty today. First pitch from Quackenbush fouled away. Peter Borges pinch hitting for Mark Reynolds. So Kimbrell, 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs, both earned on the 1 hit. That kind of bites your excellent ERA. Quackenbush has pitched in all 3 games of this series. Cleaning up wins the last 2 nights. 1-2. Cishek had been inserted into this spot in the order, so Burgess is batting for him.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. It's going to happen. Happens to everybody. Just try to limit those, right, Dick?
Yeah. And it happens. Let's face it, 162 games. Happened to the Cardinals twice before today. They returned the favor. But the beauty of this game is it's only 1 L in the column, although the temptation here was to root for that Padres sweep and get to 500.
Right.
Win 6 in a row for the first time.
That's a good pitch. That is the pitch that's very rarely called a strike. The 12-6 curveball. You can catch that ball a foot off the ground, but home plate's out in front, but where it's the catcher catches it, sure, it looks low, but that crosses the plate. That's a strike.
That's a good point. Ground ball sharply to the hole. Long throw across in time. Well done. Jed Jerko looking pretty comfortable there at shortstop. Beautiful modern San Diego City Library just beyond the right field area of Petco Park. New pitcher for the Cardinals, Kevin Sechrist. He and Seth Maness have been the most used relief pitchers in the major leagues, each with 60 appearances. Sparkling 5-0 record with a 1.46 ERA.
And look at the strikeouts, 66 strikeouts at 55 2/3. For the left-hander getting an inning of work here.
He'll face Brett Wallace.
Okay. They're sticking around. They want to see the whole show.
Normally they leave much earlier, don't they? They must be on their best behavior because they're allowed to stay through the 9th inning. Scotty moves from left field to right field. Borges stays in the game in center. Cosma's in at shortstop, and Cruz the catcher. Sechrist the pitcher. Wallace with a big home run on Friday night. The 9-3 Padres win. Pham goes to left field. One and one to Wallace. Has a couple of pinch home runs. This is his 29th pinch hit appearance, hitting .373. Check that. That's his on-base percentage. He's 8 for 28. Left-hander that can throw with that velocity and mighty valuable. That ball is clubbed to center field, way back and off the top of the wall. A throw in, and Wallace with a double, missed a home run by just a couple of feet. That was a laser.
He didn't hit it high enough. That ball was crushed. I would really like to see him go El Centro on the home run. Let's check out the swing. Down by the label just a little bit, and he still gives it a ride.
Look at the size of those thighs. Look at the power from down below.
That's getting extended.
9th pinch hit of the season for Brett Wallace. He's got to be among the leaders. Jed Jerko. Off first base. And out of play.
Dick, you just mentioned about Sechrist and what a valuable asset it is to have in that bullpen. From the left side, a fastball, changeup, slider. You can get up to 97 miles an hour from the left side. That guy's going home happy.
Smooth.
How many O's?
Just a couple.
Would that be just smooth then? Let's see, Aroldis Chapman from the left side. He's 100, 101. Sechrist can get up there 96, 97.
Leadoff double for Brett Wallace. And Padres trailing 10-1. 9th inning, a matter of pride. Don't waste any at bats. So the Dodgers lost today. The Giants play later. Should the Giants win at Pittsburgh, they can move within a half game of the lead. And for the Cardinals, their lead had shrunk to 3.5 over Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh hosting the Giants tonight. The Mets beat Colorado 5-1. Arizona shut out Cincinnati 4-0. Cincinnati's 9th consecutive loss. Inside, full count. And Texas staying in the hunt. They beat the Tigers today 4-2. That final in Houston was 3-2 over the Dodgers. That one coming in hot. Karam's back downstairs. Ground ball into the hole and through to left field. Wallace had to hold up. Ball hit in front of him. Jerko with a base hit. Segras gives up a double and a single here in the bottom of the 9th inning. As we move to the top of the order, and Jan Solarte a couple of hits. Padres now have equaled the hit total of the Cardinals at 10, but where it counts, make that 10 hits for the Padres, 11 now for the Cardinals on Piscotty's home run top of the inning. And where it counts, it's all St. Lou, 10-1. Solarte bats right-handed for the first time.
Okay, everybody loves a comeback, right? There's a comeback back in the 80s when the Phillies were in Los Angeles playing the Dodgers. It's one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. You can see it on YouTube. Just put in comeback Phillies at Dodgers. Tommy Lasorda was just beside himself.
How big a margin did they
They
overcome?
were down like by 8-9 runs in the 9th. And the Phillies came back and won it. Rumor had it, after this pitch, that Tommy Lasorda went back in the 9th inning to eat in his office.
No.
During the game, and then came back out.
I bet he didn't digest that meal very well.
It was one of the most unbelievable comebacks ever. That Dodger Stadium with the Phillies.
Popped up, left side foul. Actually, it's catcher Cruz to make the play. One away. Corey Spangenberg has a double in his 4 at-bats. Manus warming up, please, in a 10-1 game. They're going to make a pitching change here in the 9th inning. Spangenberg with Kemp to follow, second and third, or first and third rather, for the Padres. Wallace at third, the single by Jerko moving him over there. Spangenberg's double to the opposite field. Ooh, that hit him on the right hand. And you always have to be cautious there because, oh, did it hit his hand or the butt end of the bat?
Looks like it maybe hit the hand and the knob simultaneously, Dick. You're absolutely right. Will Simon, the assistant trainer, out to have a look with Corey.
That'll load the bases here in the 9th inning. This might be very interesting, but for the home run heroics of Stephen Piscotty, who has homered the last 2 times up. We extend that lead to 10-1.
Hey, the gloves are coming off. So Corey's okay.
So many small bones in the hand, and just a lot of injuries through the years.
I think they're going to review this one because we saw the ball on the knob.
Matheny must be getting paid by the hour. He's got a pitcher warming up in a 10-1 lead, and now he's challenging whether that ball actually hit Spangenberg or not. It did, right there on the right wrist, wouldn't it? That's pretty clear there.
Yeah.
Going to go to any movies while we're on the road? What are you going to do next week?
You know what? I think I will go take in a flick. Straight out of Compton. I want to check that out. Yeah. Get good reviews on that one. Or
let's see here. Yeah, it hits the hand and the bat simultaneously, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely looks like it hits the wrist.
Well, it's a real tough call, so I want them to take as much time before they make this decision here. We want to get it right.
Right.
I mean, it's I forgot the lyrics to "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head," or I'd sing for you.
You can hum it.
Yeah, but that's not the same. I got to go back and dust off my rendition of "Old Man River." I actually had that down once.
Did you?
Yeah, in a small recital, I sang it. Just like that, where you can take your that bass section and really drop it down an octave. You know what I mean?
Right.
Told that ball. Yeah, just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed. Nothing seems to fit. That applies today, doesn't it? Thank you, Bert Backrack. I watched the tail end of the Chargers game last night. We got back in time to see the fourth quarter. Well, the reserves played pretty well.
Nice.
Rivers didn't even take a snap. I think the Chargers are going to have a great year. I really do.
I hope so.
The San Diego Chargers. Well, after that, it was less than a half an hour, but it remains the same. Batter was hit by a pitch. Well, Matt Kemp gets a fifth at bat today and a chance to extend his hitting streak. He's grounded out, fouled out, struck out, and bounced to the pitcher. Bases loaded. One out here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Ball one.
By the way, that big comeback, Phillies Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, August 21st, 1990. Check it out.
What was the score?
The final was 12-11.
And they were down 11 to what?
They were down. Gosh, I'll have to look that up.
Kemp with a golden opportunity to add to his RBI total of 74. He had a chance the last time after Spangenberg had doubled and Solarte at second and third. That's when he tapped to the mound. Two and one.
Going into the top of the ninth, they were trailing 11-4.
So 7 runs down. They got 8 in the ninth.
And they ended up winning 12-11. At one point, they were down 11-1.
I bet Mike Schmidt had a home run in there someplace.
Yeah, I can look that up.
Please do. Bases loaded for Kemp, and the 2-1 pitch coming. 2-2. Cardinals with 4 in the first. The Padres got their run in the second. A single run in the fourth for the Cardinals, 3 in the seventh, 2 in the ninth. The crowd is thinned out with a score 10-1 in the ninth inning, but we had a nice Military Sunday audience of 33,756 today. Line drive, base hit. That'll score a couple. And the Padres make it 10-3. Wallace and Jerko scoring on the line single by Kemp. So that's 75 and 76 runs batted in this year for Kemp. He's going to hit 100.
No doubt about it, as he uses the big part of the field. Keep the chorus line going.
Spangenberg winds up at third base. And that extends his hitting streak to 15 games. Upton fouls back. Spangenberg at third, Kemp at first. Upton has a single and a double in 4 trips. Yonder Alonso would be next. To their credit, Padres battling to the final out.
Hey, a home run here, according to my math, you'd make it 10-6.
That could happen. Ooh, not from Upton as he gave it the home run swing. First strikeout for Seacrest. And the Padres down to their final out.
Located four-seamer and trying to get those hands through. What in the Tony La Russa is going on here?
I guess the Cardinal flight to Arizona isn't scheduled till 8 o'clock, so might as well stay and have fun at the ball yard.
Welcome back. Before Matt Kemp's last at bat, he had given his batting gloves to one of the little kids in the stands. This is Shane. He's got his old batting gloves. I guess Matt thought, hey, I'm not going to get another at bat, so I'll give these. So Matt gets some new batting gloves and continues his hit streak. So little Shane going away with a little present, and hey, thinks he helped Matt Kemp continue his hit streak.
That's great.
It's a Padre cheerleader.
Fan for life.
Yeah, Randy Choate dramatically here, coming in with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Runners at first and third. Matheny making the big move here to try to close out this 10-3 win. Well, he had to make the move. You have a left-handed batter, Yonder Alonso, up. You want to bring in that southpaw to counter.
Oh, my goodness.
Kemp goes. Defensive indifference. Base hit would make it 10-5. Spangenberg at third. Side wheels a strike at 84. Whoa, what a stop by Moss, and a Choate for the out. Takes a hit away from Alonso and a couple of RBIs, and that'll do it. Final score, 10-3, St. Louis. Here's Mike Pomerantz.
Dick, thanks very much. When we see you on Padres Live, the post-game show, you're going to hear from Pat Murphy. We're going to get you set up for the National Series, and we'll check out the Dodgers' failings.